I have with me Miss Tanu Mehta, who is a seasoned mediator and conciliator empaneled with the Bombay High Court. She's also an honorary director at the Center of Mediation and Research, Maharashtra National Law University. She has always been somebody who's encouraged the mechanism of mediation over litigation to resolve disputes, trained judges, senior lawyers, and students in conflict resolution, and as such played an instrumental role in furthering the concept of consensual dispute resolution in India. Good afternoon, ma'am. Thank you for taking the time to speak with me and share your thoughts on dispute resolution in changing times.
Good afternoon, Aman. Lovely to be here and to have this kind of a video conference with you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much. Ma'am, you've always been forward-looking when it comes to courts and disputing parties adopting alternatives before going to court. What are your thoughts on sectors where mediation and second online mediation can provide an effective resolution?
So I think mediation basically can be used anywhere. And when I mean anywhere, I'm really taking this big step and taking a leap ahead and saying anywhere, including criminal mediation. Right now in India, of course, that is still a big no-no. But no, I think we can mediate anywhere. Why do I think so? Because I feel all conflicts and all disputes primarily arise out of human relationships, out of human falling, out of human emotions,
Yeah.
and human, errors. So, if we can work towards helping people recognize where things went wrong, and then helping them take the measures to set things right, I think a lot of conflicts can be resolved. And all it takes really is a good dialogue to get that done. So, therefore, I think mediation being that process, it can be used anywhere. Uh, Specifically, courts have been, continuously setting their standards high, starting from Justice Ravindra's judgment to what it is now. And every 2 years, we see that there are new editions of what can go into mediation. But I think the sky is wide open for it. So take any problem, and yes, we can at least try to mediate before before it goes to litigation.
Absolutely. I think I completely agree with you on that part. What about online mediation? Do you feel that these same sort of disputes, if it is done in an online collaborative environment, what are your views on that?
So online mediation has certain minuses and certain pluses. So there are advantages and disadvantages. Let me start with the advantages. And one of the biggest advantages that an online mediation can have is when there is an actual conflict between two people, which comes out of many factors. We often see that people can't sit with each other, can't sit across each other, and find it very difficult to be able to talk to each other, which of course as mediators we want them to talk to each other. And often we feel that when there is a mediation going on, because the parties have come to an absolute kind of breakdown in communication, it's the lawyers who start talking, which is not going to solve the problem. So in online mediation, those things can be managed, because if you're not sitting in the same room, you don't have the same vibes, you don't have the repulsion for each other, you don't have any sort of emotions that overwhelm you, because you're not really in the same space. And therefore it is much easier to do a more reasoned dialogue which is more comfortable, because each disputant is in his or her comfortable space.
Correct.
And their space gives them security, and does not give them the fear of, things that fear that, that dialogue may be hijacked, or the talks may be hijacked, because some party is very powerful in convincing, some party is very powerful in the way they present their uh, arguments, or
Right.
they present their own set of ideas. So all that can be obviated, and all that can be taken care of. So online mediation can work very well in those circumstances.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for answering this question and, as always, being so insightful. Ma'am, the current situation, it has pushed people going online. Just how people are getting so used to the concept of working from home, it
Hmm.
is probably the right time for people to consider the option of resolving from home. And
Yes.
I would like to believe that with the current situation, there is a strong possibility of a spurt in disputes post the pandemic. Do you think,
Post the pandemic.
post the pandemic, so not during, do you
Huh.
think online dispute resolution is here to stay and, in fact, thrive once the effect of the virus subsides?
I think online dispute resolution is completely here to stay. In fact, I feel this is the I always feel every situation brings in its pluses and minuses, and this COVID-19 has brought this plus to India, that
Correct.
uh, online administration will start working, online dispute resolution will start working, online judicial work will start working, and once it starts working, nobody really gets out of it. It's like credit card. Once you have the
Yeah.
credit card, you don't want to go back to cash.
Yes.
So I don't think it's going out anywhere once people start using it. It's high time, in fact, that people started using online mediation. And what better than to be able to resolve things from your own space, whether it's your home or it's your office? What better way to, uh, take your time vis-a-vis your own emotions, and
Correct.
not the time granted by somebody else, that all
Absolutely.
right, now I think now in 2 days you should be prepared for this, and in 5 days you should have this prepared. Rather than that, imagine being in your own space, thinking about a situation, leaving an idea or a virtual room for some time, work on it, work whatever has been going on in your mind, come back and say,
Yes.
all right, in 2 hours I think I'm ready to go ahead with this. So I think it will work very well.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. It was such a pleasure to speak with you. And thank you once again for giving your time. Take care.
Thank you, Aman, and I really, really wish you all the best. I have a fervent wish that right after this lockdown, we'll see a huge spurt in online mediation and online dispute resolution. And I wish you all the best, because you all have been such an entrepreneurial and pioneering, enterprise behind this whole thing. So, best of luck.